posted out there that we were doing this, so I'm not expecting a ton of people.
Where's Mike? You know he'll be on.
Yeah, I'm sure he will. He'll be on like real
momentarily.
Quick. Man, I'm just beat. That
I
weekend,
bet.
It's a long weekend.
Plus, it's a lot of miles.
It is a lot of miles.
I mean, and you just didn't go there and sit. You drove around, too.
Hey, what's up, Mike?
Has he on?
Yeah, we knew you'd be the first one on. No, but, I got to spend a few days with my mom.
Right.
Up in East Tennessee, and got up early every morning and went out and, went up to either the lake to work or, just somewhere out in nature to get a little, couple hours of work done before.
Yep. Those pictures that Billy sent were incredible. It looks like he was in a jungle. Those are some big trees, man. Some green foliage.
I mean, the mountains of East Tennessee are thick, big mountains.
Yeah.
What's up, Canada? And Mark 2.0.
Yep.
What's happening? I'm going to send out a couple of texts right now while we're getting people on. What's up, Michael? Michael being on here, kind of reminds me we need to do something about hats.
Yeah.
And we've
I said I would check into that, and I will.
We've dropped the ball.
Won't be this weekend because I'll be away, but
we're going to have a shit ton of hats next year.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the event calendar is almost done.
I got
for
this
us,
new cool Armorlite hat.
Well, that is cool. That's good. That's a good looking hat.
It is.
I got the Cades Cove.
What's going on in Canada, Mark? Anything good? Floods? Snow yet?
What's happening, Chad? I love this. I love what we do.
Yeah. I was looking forward to this tonight.
Yeah.
I was waiting for Billy. I'm like, God damn, Billy.
You kept asking, are we doing this? Are we doing this?
I know. I need my Jeep fix.
It really is. What about Tokas A? I'm not sure what that means. Do you know what that means?
I don't know what that means. I was just looking at it. But I didn't want to be the first to admit I didn't know what that meant.
I don't speak Canadian. It's been nice. Hello, Serenity.
Kimberly, no, it's been super nice. 80s and 90s, nice.
How about that?
We need to wheel in Canada. We need to go hit up Mark Campbell and go wheel in Canada.
It'll basically be the same thing that Northwest Jeepcast did.
Yeah, pretty much. 8,000 mile
we'll
round
go
trip.
like 9 miles north of them and wheel and wheel with Mark. Oh, beanie headgear. Oh, I see what he's saying. That word means nothing to us people down here in the States. Beanie, I get. Tokes? I don't know what that means.
Oh, beanie. Yeah, I got that. All
right.
We could do those.
Yeah.
Actually, that'd be pretty cool. We need to get on that soon because winter months are coming.
Well, they're coming, and people are going to buy them.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's Scott. What's up, Scott?
Scott, maybe there might only be 4. I know previous conversation.
One may have made its way out to Western PA.
I know that it got used in a demo. we'll see if we can get it back.
Yeah.
But at least there's 4. And I happen to know somebody that can get a 5th one if I need
right.
it.
Your wheels still aren't online.
Yeah, they are.
Are they?
I
looked the other day.
No, they're on. I think they've been on for 5 weeks.
If they are, I think they have the back spacing wrong.
4.5 inches.
I think the ones that I have to look again because the ones I was looking at were 5, listed as 5.
Maybe they were. I got so many compliments.
Yeah, they're good-looking wheels. They just suck the balance.
What's up, Troy? Hey, man. Thanks for hosting Billy and the gang, and it was good to hang out with you this weekend.
Now, did you stay with them too?
I did. And I stayed with the Armorlite guys.
Oh, okay. How are they doing?
They're great.
Yeah.
Dave, Kel, and Graham were there. Yeah, they're good.
Good deal.
Real good.
I haven't seen those guys since Wildwood last year.
All right, we're going to get rolling here in just a minute. I'm sending out a couple podcast texts right now. But we're gonna talk tonight about Great Smoky Mountain Jeep Invasion, some of the events we have coming up, or we don't have, but other people have. Maybe we'll end up at some of them. And then we got Dr. Don to do break.
Yeah.
Part 2.
Part 2?
Part 2.
Is that Canadian or
That's
French? French Canadian?
I might have to go do. Eh?
Don, that needs to be getting out more. Yeah, that's true. I'm heading out this coming weekend up the Roush, and following weekend after that, I'm with Jeep at AOAA. So, but yeah, that's only 4 times this season. You're right, Troy. I definitely need to get out more.
Yeah, I think we all do, but we have things to do for me to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Everybody share this out. See if I can get 1 or 2 more people on there. Then we'll hit that button. But I think in the walk from the Jeep to the studio, I got bit by 3 mosquitoes.
I don't get hammered by mosquitoes. I know people like yourself that can get, they'll get hammered.
I used to didn't. And then my legs just became ground zero for mosquito bites.
I rarely get them.
They just love my legs. Usually that's how I get from place to place. I just put out a little leg and get picked up. But appreciate you, Scott. Yeah. We are sans Break It Billy. He's off breaking it.
He hasn't so far. He's holding it together.
I know, he is holding it together.
A little restraint for that skinny pedal. Scott, is Scott back? Are you guys?
No, they're not back.
Oh, they're still down there, huh?
There's a little. They're having a little trouble getting Jeep rolling.
Oh no!
So they're stuck in the area.
Oof.
Yeah. I mean, that's not a bad place to be stuck.
No.
But the Jeep's in the shop.
Oh no.
I'm not going to share too much because it's not my story to tell.
Right.
But it's not starting, and it's clicking, but it's not starting.
Oh no.
And it's a JL, and I was like, those things are notorious for that aux battery.
Yep.
So that's probably why. Even because sometimes they'll not turn over.
No, you're right. Yep.
They'll click.
Yep.
And not turn over with the aux battery, or sometimes it just won't do anything.
Yeah.
Our good friend Rob Swavely is in the house. Rob is a coworker of mine and a tremendous artist.
Yeah?
He is quality people.
Okay.
And then his artwork, your last piece of artwork, I'm going to sit down and spend a few minutes with it. He posted online, and it's killer. It's majority of it's yellow and black, and but I mean literally glanced at it for like 30 seconds and my eye couldn't stop moving.
What kind of art is he into? Like contemporary?
It's contemporary abstract, but everything has meaning.
Yeah.
And I've got a couple of his works hanging in my
bedroom.
bedroom.
Who would love to meet him, right?
Oh yeah,
my daughter.
Your daughter.
Oh,
yeah.
absolutely, because that's what she does.
Yeah, maybe
contemporary abstract. Yeah.
We could probably manage that, or maybe I can commission a work from Rob.
Right.
For maybe I could do that.
Oh yeah, she would. She would love that.
Troy, he is stuck in Tennessee. He's still stuck, I think, in the Pigeon Forge area. But yeah, Rob, you're a good dude and a great artist, and I appreciate you. And I stop by your desk tomorrow at work. I feel like it's been a
well, I haven't got to meet Rob yet, but I look forward to it next time I'm in the Quadratec
He's the new
area.
me.
Yeah.
He took my old job.
Nice.
Oh man, he is exceptional.
Good.
He's good people.
Scott says Heather's, and it's just won't can't get it fixed.
Yeah, the Metal Cloak dudes had it. They were working with them and still couldn't figure it out. I honestly, I would start at the aux battery and work out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
right, Rob.
Does she have a phaser on that? Wait for a reply. Yeah, he said almost 5 hours at Metal Cloak.
Yeah. All right, I think we've got a good number. Troy, if you could find Scott online, and reach out to him, that'd be awesome. Both of you are on Facebook, so you should be able to find the Genesis Jeep Coalition. That's a local club. They're good people.
Around here?
Real good people. Yeah. They're doing an event coming up soon, and I meant to put them on the event schedule.
What's up, Jason? I don't know that I've seen Jason Landis on here before. I never knew.
Okay. I'm gonna put that in.
Phaser,
real quick.
taser. It's taser, not phaser. Taser. Did I say taser?
You did.
All right.
Or something.
Well, there is one way to fix that, Scott. Just go ahead and trade that in another one.
Right, just trade it right on in. What's up, Benji? How you doing? Hello, everybody. All right, let's hit that button and get started. Jason, how's it going? If I missed anybody, yell at me. But otherwise, we're ready to rock and roll.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Where's my button? All right, everybody. Welcome to the Jeep Life podcast. We're that Jeep Life where we celebrate everything about it, and we do it. It's unbelievable what we do. I am Jeepin Terry, and I'm joined by Dr. Don over there.
Yeah, I didn't come up with another name tonight.
No, I think just big nights like this when we're doing like breaks or something like that.
You want me to stick with Dr. Don?
Dr. Don,
all
and then
right,
when we kind of slide off the rails, then we can do
whatever.
Whatever
mess comes to my head?
Yeah, unapologetic.
No,
Don.
it was Vagabond Don. It was Unremarkable Don.
Unremarkable Don.
Right.
I think you're very remarkable.
Well, I appreciate that. I just
you're at least
I want the option. I just want the option to be unremarkable.
I understand. Man, it's good to be back in the studio. It's been a hot minute. I think 2 weeks.
Yeah.
2 weeks and a day since we recorded.
Yep.
Last.
Yep.
But lots
because you left early for Tennessee,
I did.
right?
I did.
We were supposed to record that night, and at like 4, you're like, I'm on the road, boys.
Sorry,
See
dudes.
ya.
It was one of those things. I was actually trying to leave the day before, and then it got to the point where I was going to leave the day after.
Right.
And I got up. I was fully loaded, which was odd for me to be packed and ready to go. And I was like, shit, I'll just do the 9-hour drive now. And just got in the Jeep and went.
Yep.
And I originally was going to try to come back here and get some of the studio gear to take with me.
Right.
But whatever came up, and that wasn't able to happen.
Yeah.
But you can see that there's 2 out of the 3 here tonight. Break It Billy is off breaking stuff.
He's still out there. He's at Windrock.
He's at Windrock. He's playing with the big boys.
Yes, he is.
He's out there. He did the Warren ride yesterday. He's doing flex rocks and rollover guys right now. They've been all over the park.
Yeah.
And some of those trails look gnarly.
Yeah.
Gnarly.
Yep.
Windrock's a huge park. It's a great park. It's a good destination. I'd like for us to get down there and spend the
That
weekend.
was my biggest thing for wanting to go to Smoky Mountain. I want to wheel Windrock.
Yeah. I think maybe next year we might plan it so that you have a certain day that you have to leave.
Yeah, Sunday.
So
maybe I take personal days.
Yeah.
It's bad though, isn't it, when the kids first come back and their teachers out wheeling still.
just do your Zoom
They'll
call.
understand,
Just do your
Listen,
Zoom
guys,
calls.
you get this, right? This is like a car guy's dream.
I love it. Well, we were talking and kind of hinting around with it. Bill and I got the opportunity to go down to the Great Smoky Mountain Jeep Invasion in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. I really didn't understand the scope of how big this show is. You know.
Yeah, you were saying.
We go over to what's the one in New Jersey at the beach?
Wildwood.
Wildwood.
Right.
New Jersey Jeep Invasion. Great show.
Right.
Huge show.
Right.
2,500 Jeeps on the beach.
Right.
Another 500 or so in town.
Right.
That's one little parking lot in Pigeon Forge.
Yeah.
It's estimated between 15 and 20,000 Jeeps.
The location's right for that too. You know, like people can
yeah.
come from the East Coast, the West Coast. I mean, it's kind of a little bit of a haul, but it's doable.
Yep.
You know, without having to go cross country.
There were Utah plates out there. There were, several in the Southwest. There were Illinois, Michigan, a ton of Michigan plates. But it was unbelievable how many Jeeps. And it started out balls hot.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
well, when I texted you, I was like, "Hey, how is it? How are you guys doing?" Both of you replied back, like instantaneously, hot.
Hot.
Yeah.
It was just one word. That's all the energy we had to put in was hot.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, I'll be up in the mountains of East Tennessee. It was hot. Now, the really cool thing about this show is. All right, so there's 2 factors to the show. There's the actual vendor and show and shine and typical Jeep show.
Well, let's talk about the vendor area.
Yeah.
How many vendors were there?
300-ish.
Wow.
I mean, it was huge, right? They have 2 areas for vendors. They have an outside.
I saw that, and then an
that's,
inside. Right.
PA Jeep size.
Yep.
Vendor area
Yep.
outside.
Right.
And then inside the convention center in the LeConte Center is a full another version of that inside in the AC.
Yeah.
It's unreal.
Right.
So I mean it's crazy, and you can walk between the 2. You can go inside to cool down.
Right.
Which I did a couple times just to kind of walk and say hey to all our friends and everything, and just see who all was in there. It was great.
Yeah.
And then the outside, it was great because they actually had installers row where they had people installing sound systems, other things. Yeah, so that was kind of cool. And then a lot of vendors just selling a ton of stuff. I mean, It was anything you could want, you could find.
Yeah.
So it was massive. Then there's a show and shine on the upper parking lot, and that's where all your rigs that people want to show off and everything.
Right.
You walk
Sure.
through that, and you can see everything under the sun for that.
Right.
I mean, every kind of imaginable rig.
I saw. So my favorite was from the show and shine.
Yep.
Because I was watching, everybody's posts and stuff.
Yep.
The half clean, half dirty Jeep.
So that was actually parked right outside the LeConte Center, and Troy took me over to show me it. It's a beautifully built TJ, beautifully built. I mean, it was awesome. But half of it looked like it was the cleanest, most polished Jeep you've ever seen.
Yeah.
And right down the middle of everything, including the engine bay,
Yeah.
everything. One side was mud, but they had done drawing and art.
And it was like spot on.
Spot on.
I was so freaking cool. Because don't get me wrong, like I can look at Jeeps all day long, but Jeeps start to look like Jeeps, unless you get to something rare like an FC or, a unique build. But that was creative, and that was really freaking cool. Like, whoever did that.
I'm going to see if I can pull that up for the folks.
It was just so cool. The art on it, I was like, to do that in mud,
yeah,
it takes probably a thought process. Like, what tools do you use to do that so you get the nice sharp edges like they had? So
there's some witchcraft involved.
No shit,
with,
absolutely.
With that. I mean,
yeah,
that's not the way things are supposed to be done. And I'm gonna see if I can pull that up. You have to do all kinds of voodoo with this as well to get a photo into our production software. But yeah, it was really killer on how that was done. Oh, here we go. Let's see.
I think almost every big name was there. They had.
All right, I've got it up on the screen for everybody.
Yeah, and there it is. I mean, seriously, look at that on the side of the. I mean, that's incredible.
They had to have had some kind of vinyl decal or something.
It wasn't anything over top, right? It was actually drawn into the mud.
That was drawn. You go up to it, you see the window through where, and the body.
I mean, look at the detail in the tires.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
So that was my favorite. That's out of the pictures I saw, that just, I don't know. Just something different, and a lot of work went into just getting it ready for the show, not just a build.
And I'm curious, if the dude that owns it had been around, I was going to ask him, is this something that he keeps like this? But this is done exactly for this event.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. It would be no good. I mean, it would be cool at other shows, but not.
No.
Yeah. I mean, are you sure that wasn't a decal? Because look at the great part of it. Like, it goes up over the lower window trim.
Yeah. No, it's the way it was mud. I mean, you walk up and you could push it away. When it started raining, which it did, they pulled out a tent and covered it so that it wouldn't run off.
Yeah.
So it's for real. That is
mud. Insane.
Yeah. It was.
I hate mud, but I would take my shit out and get it all fucked up just to have this guy, whoever he is.
Yep. Yeah, it was very, very cool. You're right. That was actually my second favorite, I think.
Yeah. What was your favorite?
Well, there's everything out there, and there was a Jeep. It was big green. I don't even remember the name of it, but it was at Quaker Steak and Lube.
I know which one you're talking about.
And he literally drove up backwards up this wall.
Yeah.
With this thing, and I mean,
it was like electric green.
Yeah,
with like a blue teal or purplish blue in it.
And
I know which one you're talking about.
Full roll cage everywhere. My head came at my nose to the half door.
Really?
I mean, this thing was huge.
Yeah.
I don't 43s maybe.
Yeah, I think they were on Swampers or something like that. But they were like 18-inch wide Swampers.
It was huge. It was.
Next step up is Monster Truck.
My friend Troy, because he showed me this. It's Godzilla.
Yeah,
is the name of the Jeep, and it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's funny because I always feel good about my Jeep when I'm driving in a parking lot.
I know,
man,
right,
that looks cool,
right.
Yeah, you got the best Jeep ever. And I get there to shows like that, and I go, God, I drive a fucking piece of shit.
How about it? Like, I hate hanging out with my friends. Like, all my friends have bigger Jeeps.
I know, right?
I always end up parking away from them.
Yeah, I mean 39s, 40s,
At least, like,
43s,
yeah. Anymore, I'm like, I'm gonna do 37s and pussy. You know? While they're standing next to 43s, you know, and
I got 35s and I can't even crawl into the damn thing.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, man. All right, so that is one element of it, is the show and shine vendor area that happens between 9 and 5 Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Right.
I love that it's a 3-day event. By Saturday, you can by Sunday, you can sleep in and pull out. You're ready to go. Right? But Wednesday evening, Thursday evening, Friday evening, and Saturday evening, there's all after parties at different various locations, and they actually publish this on their website. One night might be the Hard Rock, one night might be Quaker Steak and Lube, the wing place, and it's just a place to go gather.
Mm-hmm.
And
so, what was the vibe? Did you go to any of these?
I went to one of them Friday night.
Okay.
And it's real cool. It's just like any other parking lot event,
okay.
right? People might have done stupid shit to park their Jeep, like 14 of them stacked on top
tire
of each
stacking,
other, right?
Yeah.
One might have brought a Corvette to slide under his Jeep, but overall, it's just people standing around talking about Jeeps and going, "Oh man, that's a cool build. That's cool."
Yeah.
That's cool in itself. That is cool. And then while all that's going on, the strip is used. I mean, it's maybe 2.5, 3 miles long,
right?
And it's 3 lanes on one side,
Drag
3
racing.
lanes a quarter of a mile apart, and they literally, you just drive around in that loop.
Yeah, you cruise.
You're going 5 miles an hour on the outside lane, and there's people park their Jeep in the parking lots right alongside and throw out ducks and get ducks.
Okay.
And hold up signs and applaud and wave, and I mean, it's just a lot of like camaraderie out there. Half the people are doing the loop, and the other half of the people are.
So it's pretty chill. This isn't like the one, like the off-road thing, like the Jeep show in Texas. Like it's way out of hand.
Yeah,
and it's been shut down.
Right. So the one in Texas isn't specifically a Jeep show. It's a 4x4 show.
Okay.
But no, as a matter of fact, so Hot Rod Nation or the Rod Run is in 2 or 3 weeks.
Right.
And they usually have multiple arrests that go on.
Right.
And it's the same idea.
You know why we don't get arrested, right? Because our Jeeps aren't that fast.
Right. We're not going anywhere. So
although that's not true anymore with all these LS swaps and Hemi swaps.
That's true. But I was talking to people on the commission for Pigeon Forge.
Right.
There's 0 necessary arrests and stuff that happen.
That's cool
from the Jeepers.
I mean those crowds. That's not really my thing. But I'm glad to hear that the vibe's good. You know what I mean? That people are decent and they're respectful of the people's property out there, and it's not getting out of hand. That's cool.
And there's always that one guy.
That's me.
Right.
That's why I don't go.
It was one dude that had probably the loudest air horn I've ever heard
Billy.
in my entire life.
Yeah.
So it makes that air horn sound like it didn't exist, like it was muffled. I jumped.
Yeah, see, that's what drives it. See, so I don't have the patience for that. Unfortunately, sorry to all our listeners, but I would have went over and probably tore it off his rig and wrapped it around his head.
Yeah, it's probably mounted underneath it somewhere. But
with zip ties. I would have tore it off. Yeah.
It definitely is put on with zip ties. There's no doubt about it. But it was I was in a vehicle, and it made me jump.
Yeah.
So it. What else? Oh, and Cades Cove Outfitters.
Yep.
Which you had recommended me going to.
Yeah.
And you got stickers all over there. You went on in the off season.
Yep.
And loved the place.
Yep.
I go during the height.
What was the line like to get in the building?
So Troy and I, because my Jeep was parked in the Armorlite booth.
Right.
Which in a minute I'm going to shout out to the Armorlite guys. But it was. I hopped in his rig, which he's got a great Chief build,
right, yep.
On a 3.5-inch lift with 35s, and I love his Jeep. We went up, and it's a 30-minute drive out there,
Yeah.
right? Beautiful, winding country mountain road. About a mile away from the place, you're in a parking lot going no miles an hour.
Yeah.
While
Yeah.
everybody parks.
Yep.
And then when somebody finally leaves,
Yeah, somebody else
Jeep,
jumps in.
takes that
Like
spot.
waiting in line.
So it truly is waiting in line for about a mile.
Right.
Which took us about 40 minutes.
Yep.
And then we get in and park and go. And, again, it's balls hot.
Right.
We go in, and, man, it's a cool place. Tons of apparel, T-shirts, stickers, every kind of decal you could imagine. And then they have the upper room, which is all parts distribution, Rugged Ridge or whatever, stuff up there. I don't need that, but that is cool to walk through and see, the lighting that they have and everything. And the parts area was like 50 degrees. It was really cold. Everything else in there was about 112.
Yeah.
And there was about 6,000 people in the building.
Yeah.
So it was no fun.
Could you imagine the money they did, the amount of business they must have done? They probably paid for that place for like an entire year.
I'm sure.
On that 1 week.
The guy who runs it kind of was doing a Barker system where he was telling people what to do and taking their hangers and giving advice. Only one person stay in line. He
was going to come on a podcast at one time. We've talked to him. Right.
We need to get him on.
We do need to get him on because Cades Cove is like a landmark.
It really is, and I enjoyed him.
Yeah,
and he completely turned my thought of the whole thing around.
Yeah,
because I was kind of.
No, he's cool. It's not your typical come and get swag and spend money. It's got some a little bit of Jeep magic to it.
I agreed.
Yeah.
But when I walked in and you literally chest to chest with people.
Yeah, it's tough.
And it's 110 degrees. Yeah. But it that was killer, and everyone should go to Cades Cove Outfitter. At least once.
I agree. And Tail of the Dragon's right there.
It's right there.
And it sounds stupid, but Tail of the Dragon's fun in a Jeep. I mean,
yeah.
Yeah, throw the top down, and you don't have to do 110 down Tail of the Dragon.
You're not gonna.
No.
Not in a Jeep.
Sport bike.
You're not in a Jeep.
No, definitely not.
But that was the problem with that mountain road getting to Cades Cove is that would have been a fun drive
if it wasn't for the traffic.
There was a ton of traffic.
And I want to go down and do Tail of the Dragon again. That was another road. Like I just love driving that road. There's so much history on it. I want to do Wind Rock, So I don't know. Maybe we can get them to move up Great Smoky Mountain like a week.
Move it forward.
Yeah.
Well, they've actually got the dates for the next 10 years.
Well, they can change them.
Right. We'll make that happen. The mayor, who is a fraternity brother of mine, David, actually proclaimed that Saturday was
official
Kevin and Justin Day in Pigeon Forge. Like full proclamation, seal, and everything for the guys who put that together.
Wow.
So, kudos to them. It was a perfectly run show.
Yep.
And, the vendors, every vendor I talked to had a great time.
Yeah.
It was, no sour eggs anywhere. Everybody was great. So.
How long have they been doing that show? It's the
10th annual.
Is it?
So it's only 10 years old.
Okay.
Which is amazing.
That it grew that much.
It grew that much. The first one had 100 Jeeps.
Wow.
And now 15 to 20,000 Jeeps. I want to take this opportunity right now to thank our friends at Armorlite. They came through in a big way.
They always do.
They borrowed my Jeep for the show.
Right.
So my Jeep sat in the booth. Got tons of attention. Tons of attention. And
how many times did it get COVID?
I've already given it 2 vaxes and a boost since I've been home. But they, friends of the podcast in the biggest way, they took care of me while I was there to make sure I had a good time and I was housed and fed, and they took good care of me. So my trip down there was sponsored by Armorlite, and I appreciate Dave, Kel, and Graham for everything they did.
Oh, they take care of us. They're awesome people. It's an awesome product and awesome business.
Yeah.
We always said we wouldn't do business with anything less, and
that holds true.
And they're the first ones that came to the table, and we're still with them, and thank God they're still with us, and we're lucky to have them.
We are very lucky to have them. Their show discount is 10% off. Our listeners get 10% off all the time. They don't have to go to a show.
No, and that's that 10% off those systems is a good chunk of change.
That's a good chunk of change.
Yep.
All you have to do is use the discount code JeepLifePodcast10. And earlier, Jason talked about they're coming out with the TJ. Pre-sale started last week for orders for the TJ. I would expect
so many people
around Thanksgiving that'll roll out.
Yeah.
So the same flooring will work for TJs and LJs.
Right.
Which is great.
Right.
But yeah, killer stuff. Our thanks to Armorlite. I know that we talk about them a lot.
Yeah, I haven't hung out with them since the last New Jersey Jeep invasion. Not this year, past year, and but they were a good time. Nice guys,
wonderful, people.
Super knowledgeable about the product, and I learned a lot about it, and absolutely took care of us that weekend.
Yeah. Well, they always take care of us.
Right.
They kind of went above and beyond what I even expected from this. So, thanks, Dave, Kel, and Graham.
Not to mention the product.
Yeah.
Did we talk about the product lately?
We haven't talked about it lately.
Yeah.
Oh, well, this summer they released the whole full rear system, which I have installed in my Jeep so that people can see it. Wheel covers that look great. I mean, they just look fantastic.
Yeah.
And then there's seat backs.
Yeah. Did you put them on?
I haven't put them on because I have seat covers on mine, and I think I'm going to do it, but I'll just drill through my seat covers and put them on the back of that.
You could do that.
Because I'd rather not.
Right.
I like my seat covers.
Right.
And I would like for them to
be
seen.
Put them under the seat covers,
just because.
Yeah, I mean, if you take the seat covers off,
or maybe we'll just put them on the back of your seats.
Oh yeah, we can do that.
We can do that.
Let's do that because I have the thing on the back of for mine too that you gave me.
Yeah.
They gave us.
So we'll do that. We'll put
that'd be good because I'm tired of cleaning up dog hair.
And if you have a dog, Armorlite is a no-brainer.
I'm telling you, there's like a Venturi effect. If you open up the drain plugs and just drive down the road, you just watch the dog hair sucks out the
right out.
Right.
Or if you're standing still, just use a leaf blower.
Yeah.
And it'll blow it right out.
Well, we got students back, so I can't wait to show them how you wash out the inside of a Jeep with Armorlite.
I know that's fun, right?
Yeah.
That's fun. Ooh, all right. I'm not going to talk anymore about Great Smoky Mountain Jeep Invasion, other than the fact that you guarantee that the Jeep Life podcast will be there in full form next year.
All right.
Guaranteed.
All right.
That is a demand from the boss. I talked to him today. And
I heard he made an executive decision.
He made an executive decision. We're there.
All right.
So plan your dates accordingly. Use your sick time wisely.
Yeah. Personal days already for next year.
Yeah. All right. We got some events coming up. We just finished that event, but we got some other events coming up. We were just talking about the trail ride.
Yep. So September 17th is our club, Jeep Enthusiasts of Eastern PA. They're doing their fall trail ride, which is a huge event for us. It's we I don't know what we have signed up, but I think we're packed. Like from what I've been seeing online.
I think there's some open spots.
What are you doing? Green and blues?
No, just blues.
Just blues?
Just blues.
Okay. I don't know what Neil's doing. Is Neil doing greens? Because I said tail gun
greens.
I don't know. I'm just gonna hang out.
Flip over to mine.
Yeah. I'm gonna hang out and wherever I'm needed, I'm gonna go and just have fun and
It's always a great weekend.
Oh, it's awesome because then we all get to hang out. And yep. So and then the 18th is a big deal for us. That's a 50-50 tread lightly Quadratec trail cleanup.
Yep.
So Scott Ammerman's going to be there. And
representing Tread
Lightly. He's like the liaison now for the East Coast nearly, and killing it nonetheless. I mean, he's been doing I think he said he's done 25 projects already this year or something like that. And I'm sorry, Scott, if I misquoted that, but it's like twice what they expected him to get done.
Yep.
So he's going to be up there, and we're going to do some trail cleanup stuff, and he's got it all organized and figured out. I'm going to spend the day, unless they absolutely dire need me, I'm going to spend a day grabbing some content because I think this is something that's really important. I'm going to put a video together on behalf of, Go Fox Adventures, Tread Lightly, and ourselves. Just
that'd be
throw
awesome.
it on YouTube just so
awesome.
people understand what's going on,
That'd be
and
huge.
what our responsibility is to this hobby.
Yeah, and that's such a great weekend, and we're going to be camping out there.
Yep.
So you're welcome to come hang out with us.
Yep.
And bring adult beverages if you need to.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
It's we're there at AOA camp. What do they call it? Trailhead Campground.
Yep.
And we'll be there Friday night, and Saturday morning we're up early wheeling, but back there again Saturday night. And yeah, we always have a good time. It's always a really, really. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it'll be a good time, and we were lucky enough to be selected by Quadratec and Tread Lightly for one of their 50 for 50 projects.
I think it's awesome.
It's great.
Don't you have the stickers on there? No. You don't have.
No, I don't have a 50-50.
I do not.
No, I'll get us some. Stickers have eluded me lately. I need
stickers.
Yeah,
I know. And I don't know where to put them because I want to put them on my tailgate, but I don't want to because I want to put a table on it.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna get a table, mount it over the stickers I have, and then put stickers all over the table.
Actually, that's a good idea.
Yeah. You heard it here first, folks.
You're so creative. I was thinking about just sticker blasting the back of my Jeep, period.
Yeah.
One side to the other on the outside. Hell with it.
Don't do that, please. Don't do that. Genesis. This isn't on yours. I just filled it in.
Right.
They're doing their second annual show and shine on the 24th, so the following weekend.
Okay. Where's that at?
Give me a second. I'm pulling it up.
While you're doing that, I'm going to do the next one.
Food and Fire Tap House and Barbecue Music. It's Music PA. MOOSIC PA.
I don't know where that's at.
I don't either. But I will have a link to it in the show notes.
Okay.
But they're going to have vendors. They're going to have show and shine. They're going to give prizes out in categories.
It might be a good one to run the kids up to.
It might be, depending on where the hell music is. It's Jerry, Jason have all said it's around Scranton, PA, north of Wilkes-Barre. And I just got a text that it's by Scranton.
That's not too bad. I mean, that's 2 hours north of us.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
North of Wilkes-Barre, never mind. Yeah, that's 2-3 hours.
Yeah, it's worth. It's worth.
All right. I may be in for that.
Yeah.
Everybody knows where music is except for... Are we saying that even right?
I was getting ready to say, are we saying it even right?
Right.
But they reached out to us, literally 48 hours ago. And so I'm just getting details as we go, so I'll get that all in the show notes.
Terry, you are the Gandalf of Quadratec. That's so freaking true. I love it. Oh, dude, we just got a new nickname for you. Come on, let's go wheeling, Gandalf.
Oh, I love it.
That's great. 1 hour, 15-minute drive for me to AOA. Do you live, Jerry? Do you live in Moosic? Oh no, he's in Scranton.
Scranton area, yeah.
All right.
All right. What's next?
So October 1st, Fall New Jersey Jeep Invasion, Ocean City, New Jersey. We'd done that. Well, you guys did last year. I couldn't make it, but
we'll probably do it again this year. I need to talk to Jamie.
Yeah, that is a good show.
It is, and it's in Ocean City this year, so it's going to be on the boardwalk.
Yeah, so that's a little more tolerable for me because it's not as many people.
Yep. Yeah, it's a smaller show than like Wildwood, but it's still, it's a good end of the season. We did it the first year, 2 years ago.
I have a personality disorder, right? It's called a short temper.
It was the birth of Monkey Butler.
Monkey Butler, yeah, when it scurried down the balconies.
Yeah. But it was a good opportunity for us to just go chill out at the boardwalk and then feel like we had to be there at, oh my God, in the morning. It was romantic with us. It
we
was
sat at the beach, like not
Yeah.
on the beach, but right at the beach.
Yeah,
And
holding
we just
hands and
watched the sunset and
it's-
talked about our,
Our
life.
dreams.
Our dreams. And
the ones that were crushed as
Right,
we grew older.
right.
We have found out that music is the correct pronunciation.
Oh, we did it right, huh?
We did find out that's
That's the first time
might
that Jeep Life has ever pronounced something correctly.
yeah. So I check out the Fall New Jersey Jeep Invasion. Check out the website if they still have tickets available.
It's a good one. It really is. Honestly, it's well done and not a ton of people. And so, also,
The same day.
same day, October 1st, Creekside Farm Glow, East Berlin, PA. Jeremy Rowe is playing.
Yes.
So
Just Jeremy Rowe. He's not bringing the whole band.
right.
It's just Jeremy Rowe. It's going to be, I think, an acoustic set.
Right.
It's at a farm. I think they're raising money for farms in the area.
Right.
I don't know a lot about it. I got a flyer from them. They sent that to me, and I told them I'd put it on our
Oh yeah.
thing.
He's a cool dude. Whatever we can do. And if I can't make it to the weekend for Fall Jeep Invasion, then I probably may run up that night for
East Berlin.
Yeah, I feel like, maybe I could support him a little bit. He's a cool dude.
He's a cool dude.
Yeah.
Real cool dude.
All right, so October 7th through the 9th, Bantam Trail Fest 2022. I just talked to one of the people on their board about us being up there.
Oh,
So
yeah?
we have an invitation to be there as well.
Nice.
Yep, they have some space for us.
Oh, nice.
Should have probably wrote that person's name down, though.
Was it male, female?
Both. So it was his wife and him.
Oh.
And I met him at the Overlanding.
Oh, cool.
Mid-Atlantic
Cool.
Overlanding Festival.
All right.
Yeah.
Good people that run that.
Bantam?
Bantam, yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, well, first of all, everybody at the Overlanding Festival was banging. They were all cool people.
Yeah.
But yeah, super nice. And I started talking about the podcast because he was there, wondering if they could get some representation for somebody, from some of the other vendors. And I started talking about the podcast, and they were stoked. And they knew who we were.
Yeah,
so,
that's cool.
Yeah. So, October 22nd, Boo at the Zoo, Creepy Jeepy at Cape May Zoo.
That's fun.
Now you guys did that,
We
right?
did that,
You and
yeah.
Terry. I left early.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then Bill and I went over, and because you get free admission to the zoo. I mean, it's a great little
I
zoo.
may take the fam up for that one.
And you get to see the monkeys doing monkey butler shit.
I love monkeys.
And
The only thing I like better than monkeys are capybaras. Giant.
and they've got capybaras too, I think.
Oh, yeah. I want
Yeah.
one. You can have them in PA. They're legal.
Can you really?
120-pound guinea pig. Who the hell would not want a 120-pound guinea pig?
Right?
I mean, my dog on one side, guinea pig on the other.
Done.
Life couldn't get any better than that.
But everybody dresses up their Jeeps, and they give a contest for best decorated Halloween themed Jeeps.
Yeah.
It's fun.
I'm in. I like it.
Oh, I've picked up a couple more events this weekend that I haven't put on here yet, but I will.
Okay.
Sorry, everybody.
It's been a whirlwind.
Earlier today, I was looking for the cards for them, and couldn't. Oh, I took pictures of them. So
there
now
you go.
I have the information. I'll put it in the show notes.
Don't you hate that? I'm constantly trying to store data places, and I can't remember where.
I smartly said, I'll never remember where this card goes. I took a picture of it.
And then you forgot you took the picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I've been there.
God, I'm a dumbass.
Like recently.
All right, which brings us to our main topic. And I feel like if we need to, we can cut this in half.
I don't think there's that much. I
right.
kind of did my best to abbreviate this.
Perfect. Abbreviate away.
All right. So, brake upgrades. Last week we talked, or 2 weeks ago, we talked about what brakes were, different components of them, how they worked. And this week, this is all about brake upgrades and performance. So, the biggest thing that we as Jeep owners run into is lack of brake performance and brake fade. The biggest thing, and I'll abbreviate this section of my notes, and I'll put these notes in the Patreon this week.
So when you go out and you buy a Jeep off the showroom,
right,
the engineers have done an amazing job for building brakes for that vehicle and that
and
weight.
Some manufacturers do a better job of it than others. I have to be honest with you. Chrysler Corporation has never been a brake company.
They're a little chintzy, but it's designed for that weight.
It's rated for that vehicle, that GVWR, and that's it.
And then we instantly drive it off the showroom floor and we
fuck
put
with it.
800 pounds on it.
Yeah. So here's the thing that I came across, and this is one of the biggest things is what impairs our brake performance is putting bigger tires on, because it changes rotational mass. You've heard of us talk about rotational mass in the beginning. So I did some homework. The factory wheels on a JLUR weigh in at about 75 pounds on average, depending on what package you get. Some are a little higher, some are a little lower, but I use 35 as an average. 35-inch BFG KM2s weigh in at 66 pounds, and a B17x9 wheel weighs in at 34 pounds. That puts you at 100 pounds. That is 25% heavier than what was on that.
Right.
Now, I went ahead and I found on a website called Swede Speed that I've been on years ago. Years ago, I was in the Volvos and Saabs, and for a short stint until I owned one and realized that was ridiculous. But Swede Speed's got a lot of very talented people on their forums and stuff. I found a formula to figure out horsepower loss based on weight gain, rotational mass gain.
Okay.
And then I was able to flip that formula so that I could figure out how much brake loss we lose going from a 32-ish, 33-ish tire, a 75-pound tire, to a 35-pound tire or a 35-inch tall tire. You're losing right off the bat 10% of your brakes. Now, that doesn't sound like a whole lot, but now add in, steel bumpers.
Yep.
Add in, gas tank skid, engine skid, transmission skid, winch. Now we're even up in that to 15%. Now think about this. Doesn't sound like a lot, but it'll take you about 100 feet to slow down from 65 miles an hour.
Yep.
Now you're down to 85. Now you're over that 15 feet.
Yep.
You're at 115 feet. So you've just hit the back of another car.
Yep.
Okay. So that's really why. And I'm running a very heavy set of 35s. I'm probably at the top. I used a heavy wheel on here. My beasts are ridiculously heavy.
Yes.
So are the Nittos. I can feel it. I've had to panic stop already, and I can feel the brake fade. You'll actually feel the brakes just slowly get the performance will go away, as you're coming to a stop. It's called brake fade. So how can we fix this? There's a couple ways that we can do this. Ultimately, the easiest, cheapest way to do this is by the brake materials we put on the vehicle. So Power Stop, and I kind of did this by different manufacturers and what your options are.
Yep.
But Power Stop offers a rotor and pad kit, same size rotor, but it is a vented, which the factory is, but it's cross-drilled and slotted, which increases the cooling capacity. And they have a different compound brake material. Between the two of them offers you 20% better coefficients. So you're probably right back to stock brake performance with Power Stop's rotor, if you did a rotor and front and rear brake kit all the way around.
Right. I did their big brake kit.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So mine's a little bit larger.
Right. Uses the factory caliper, though.
It still uses the factory caliper.
Right.
But the materials are a little bit thicker, and it's their upgraded carbonite
it's
pads.
Right. So, and we're going to talk about pads for a little bit, because I firmly believe that's the easiest way to gain brake performance. It's the cheapest way.
100%.
It's not the best, but it's a quick, easy upgrade that will improve braking. So there are four major types of brake pads. We have low metallic, NaO. We have semi-metallic, ceramic, and non-asbestos organic. Semi-metallic is what we find on most of the vehicles, but semi-metallic ranges in performance depending on the percentage of metallic material that's in there and what they use. So some semi-metallic pads will have copper in them. Copper dissipates heat really well.
Yes.
And that's what Power Stop does. They have a lot of copper in their pads. Like you'll look at them and you actually see the copper flakes and stuff like that. Sometimes they use things like steel wool, the cheaper ones. Believe it or not, it's like a steel wool that they'll put in them, wire, things like that. But a good semi-metallic will use copper, and that is the best all-around brake. Now, the best performing brake is the ceramic. And it's composed of ceramic fibers, similar type materials. They are the best option for performance. They emit low brake dust, and really they're really good because they dissipate heat so well. Heat is the number one. That's what creates brake fade. Heat. Brakes actually.
The space shuttle, the entire bottom layer of it was ceramic tile.
Right, for re-entry.
For re-entry. To get that heat away from the...
Yep.
Right.
So the problem, though, for most people is ceramic pads need to hit a certain temperature to perform optimally. Most of us aren't going to do that. Like you got to be on a racetrack or on and off.
The tail of the dragon.
Tail of the dragon, right? Working those brakes out, and most of us just don't do that enough to get the performance out of them.
Right.
Non-asbestos organic is sort of a brake pad that came along that kind of replaced asbestos brake pads. It's got fiberglass, rubber, Kevlar in them. These pads, they wear the quickest, and they're really optimal for daily drivers, not in extreme use. So it's a good pad because, it's not noisy. It's not, what I mean? It's not hard on rotors. It's a softer pad, and performance is okay.
Right.
The last one we have is a low metallic NaO. Consists of 10 to 30% metallic material. Always copper and steel. This is the highest performance material, but the downside to low metallic is that they do not work well in cold weather. So one needs to be hot. Ceramic, these will not, like if you're up in the Arctic, they won't work. They need to get some heat in them as well.
It's just a hard surface that doesn't unharden.
Right. You can't get them to. They need to heat up a little bit.
All right.
So really, you have the low metallic and semi-metallic, are just variations of metallic brake pads, and then your ceramic, non-asbestos organic pads. What you want to stick to is a semi-metallic pad. That is the best all-around performing pad, and you want to look for what the content is in them. Is it copper? Is it aluminum, things that'll dissipate heat very quickly? And of course the metallic component, as far as percentage of how much is in there. So the other option is big brake kits. There are companies like Bear, Willwood, and Terraflex that make a big brake kit. It typically increases the rotor size. The caliper piston area is larger, so we'll get into that in a second. And usually we increase the pad size as well. So ultimately, we're increasing a number of different things. Obviously, surface area to dissipate heat. Clamping force, because we've got larger pistons or more of them. And we've got larger friction area, surface area to slow that vehicle down as well, and convert more of that kinetic energy. All of these companies, Bear, Willwood, and Terraflex, all use a variation of 2 or 4 piston calipers. And I did some homework on this, even though, these are on the Escalade and I've worked on them in Jeeps. I never really thought about what the purpose of having a 2 piston or having a single piston versus a 2 or 4 piston was. But ultimately, the biggest thing is it increases surface area, and it also increases where the brake pad, like how it's applied.
Yeah.
So in a single piston, it's only applied in the middle of the brake pad. If you have 2 pistons, it's applied more evenly across the pad, so you don't get as much deflection on the pad, which was interesting. Now, the downside to having a larger piston is, according to Pascal's law, you have to move more fluid into those pistons, so you have a further brake pedal travel. So that's the downside. It takes a little more pressure on the pedal to do that. So in that case, you can get oversized master cylinder. So that's the part that mounts up on the firewall.
Yep.
And the master cylinder has
That's
two
where all the brake
fluid sits right on
lives,
top of
right?
it, right? It's got a master cylinder reservoir that sits on top of it. There's 2 pistons in there because your brake circuit's set up into two separate circuits
Yep.
in case of brake failure. And those pistons have to move fluid out to the calipers. So this has bigger pistons in there, so you're moving more fluid, so you're back to your normal stroke. So like the famous one, like Eric Ammerman's Jeep has a J8 master cylinder on it. It's a heavier duty master cylinder and brake booster.
Yep.
So if really you can get away with doing just the big brake kit, and honestly, like I've driven Scott's Jeep plenty of times, I've never really noticed. It's not enough of a difference for me to really notice it a whole lot. So you're fine. Those kits are designed. They're not recommended. There's no recommendation that you have to have the master cylinder, the big bore master cylinder. But to do it right, to be 110%, that's what you could do. You could replace that. And then you're at a point where, you've got plenty of stopping power for just about anything you're going to need. So that's it. I'm done. It broke me.
When I changed my brakes out, it truly changed a lot of things. I can still feel the ABS kicking in. My brakes stop almost instantly on dry surface.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're
and
really...
you did power stop, right?
Yeah.
Power stop's a good brake.
I was blown away by it.
Yep.
The only thing I have now is my nose dives down.
But that's not a brake issue.
That is not a brake issue.
No.
That is force.
That's geometry.
Right. Changing on geometry. And I've got a kit to take care of that.
Yep.
I just haven't.
Put it on.
It hasn't been a priority.
Right.
I got other things going on with that. But with stopping and this, most modern, I think, TJ and forward on Jeeps all have ABS.
Yes.
Right, and that's the electronic brains doing some calculations on which wheel to...
it's just basically watching wheel speed through the 4 wheels, and if there's a variation in wheel speed, it uses a dump valve, literally a valve that opens up and bleeds off pressure at the wheels that are going faster than the wheels that are going slower.
Right, and that has changed.
Right. I'm sorry, the wheels that are going slower than the wheels that are going faster.
And that has changed the way stopping occurs.
Oh, 110%.
It's a lot safer.
Yep.
You don't fishtail anymore,
Well, and if you get a break in a corner, like people would slide right through a corner and off the road. Now they'll actually hold the corner while you're braking.
Right.
No need to pump brakes anymore.
No.
ABS does it for you.
It does it all for you. Brakes are important.
I think it's probably one of the biggest overlooked things in Jeeps. We lift them. We put these huge tires on them. We load them up with armor. And we forget to do brake stuff.
We're constantly adding weights. I eat more cheeseburgers.
Yep.
I get heavier, and I do nothing to stop it.
Yeah. So we have to. It's something that again, I think early on in the show we made a big deal about when you build a Jeep, there really is a right way and a wrong way to do it, and you really need to address certain things. Like I'm at the verge now where my brakes just aren't efficient enough that I feel good enough that if I had to panic stop, what I mean? Like I'm right there at the edge.
Yep.
So for me, before I jump into 37s, I want to do, a number of different things, but one of them is upgrade the brakes, either, power stop and rotors all the way around or big brake kit.
So for me, I wasn't so cognizant of any failure or, my Jeep got heavier or whatever.
Right.
I wasn't thinking about that, but I needed to replace my pads.
Right.
And my rotors were worn a bit.
Right.
And so I was like, at this point, I'm not going to do the same thing I just had.
No, it's perfect time.
Right.
Honestly, that's what I'm waiting for.
I'm going to go bigger and better materials.
Yep. I'm at that point in my Jeep where like I'm not just throwing parts on it to throw parts at it anymore. I'm putting parts on it because things need to be replaced, and I'm going to upgrade when I replace them.
Yes.
So when my pads and rotors are wiped out, I'll put them on. I have a bent tie rod in the front. I'm putting some Curry stuff on it.
Yep.
I don't have a great alignment because I don't have an adjustable track bar in the front. It's getting a JKS this week or next. You know, so
that I think that's. Look at it as you add weight, start thinking about your brakes.
Yep.
And when they've worn just from natural use.
Yep.
upgrade your brake components
Yep.
at that point.
Yep, absolutely.
Jump in there.
Now the downside, and this just comes from my own experience, the downside to slotted and cross-drilled rotors, they pack with dirt.
Yes.
And then they don't heal. They don't cool well.
Yes.
So that's the only downside to them. But
I haven't experienced that, partly because I avoid mud,
right.
and a lot of times the mud is what packs that.
Yeah. Well, no,
Packs that in.
110%. It's not dust and things like that.
Right.
It's mud gets in the brake rotors and
It dries up. And
and it packs in
Yep.
it'll actually pack in the slotted portion and the cross-drilled portion of it.
Yeah. Yep. Don, as always, thank you for the time and energy with this.
Sure.
For me, I learned things, and it was just for me. I want to go. I knew that I was getting bigger with my Jeep,
Mm-hmm.
and my brakes were starting. So I just shelled out the money at
Right.
that point.
Right.
I didn't know why,
Right.
and now I know why I did that.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's important to understand that.
But no, it's awesome, and I appreciate you doing that. We're gonna get out of here.
I'm exhausted. My eyes
I'm
are
beat.
burning.
Yeah, I can fall asleep right here.
Yeah.
But our thanks to Billy for letting us use the studio when
how
he's
about it?
down
It's a good man.
doing his own thing, and hopefully he'll be back next week and we'll be full out with everybody. Our thanks to Armorlite again. I appreciate it so much, and I think it's awesome. I appreciate everybody came out. There were tons of people came by the Armorlite booth to meet me and talk to me and just say hey, or friends that we already knew came by and got a hug or whatever. And I love that. Keep that coming anytime we're out.
Yeah,
it was
absolutely.
It was good to see everybody there, and I'm glad to be home. I'm glad to sleep in my own bed. I'm glad to be going back to the office tomorrow. All those things.
It's fun to go and be out, but it's nice to come home too.
It's nice to have an anchor to kind of pull you back, right? Yep. But anyway, I'm going to sign off here for Break It Bill out in Tennessee and all the guys at Flex Rocks and Rollover, Marvin and Holly and all the gang out there. Dr. Don doing his thing.
Yes, sir.
Jeepin Terry. Here's a big Jeep wave to you, everybody. Have a good night.
My eyes are seriously burning.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us. Danny, it's good to...
You know what's cool? Not to cut you off, but when our listeners start, talking to each other on here and you get the sidebar, I just think that's cool. It's like bringing people together, I
love it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's distracting because
it is like you're talking and I'm over here reading it and
But I wouldn't change it for the world. I love to be honest with you, our listeners, their interaction is
the best part of this.
It's as fun as anything, and I try to include it as much as I can.
For me, like I said, I'm not a guy that just hangs out with big crowds of people.
Yeah.
But this is cool for me. This is what I like to do.
And I don't know of an easy. You have to log into Facebook or YouTube to respond.
Right.
Through the system that I have, all I see are the comments. I don't get to actually
type
anything out.
Yeah.
So I kind of feel bad that I
couldn't tonight. I usually try to do that for us, but I couldn't tonight because I had no backup with Billy not here.
With Billy, we're having to cover all the air.
Yeah.
Normally he just talks sometimes, and it's good. But anyway, cool. Andrew, thanks for signing up for the cleanup on Sunday. We're excited about that. We'll see everybody soon. Thanks for hanging out.
Sick. See you, Jerry. See you, everybody.